Hi everyone, this is Song. This is Welcome to the Artist interview. Today we're talking to Kevin Cramer. How you doing, Kevin?
I'm doing well. Thank you for inviting me here.
Yeah, and where are you from, Kevin?
I live in Peru, Illinois, not the country.
Yeah. And tell me a little bit about yourself, Kevin.
So I'm a musician and music educator and music composer and sometimes a DJ.
Yeah.
And a parent.
Yes. Parent. How many children you have?
I have one
One
child. Yeah.
One girl or boy?
I have a daughter.
Daughter.
Mm-hmm.
How old is she?
She's 9.
9 years old.
Yeah.
So she's in school already and everything too, right?
Oh yeah.
And is she interested in music and everything like you are? Or
Somewhat
a little bit.
Yeah.
She's getting at the age right now where she's probably starting interested
Yeah.
in what daddy's playing, right?
I mean, yeah, there's lots of things to learn about on
Yeah.
planet Earth. So
Yeah.
she's finding her way,
Yeah.
just like I've been finding my way.
Yeah, we're all finding our way every
Mm-hmm.
day, and you say you teach. Well, where do you teach at?
I teach. Well, this is actually about a decade that I've been at a studio at the West Clocks building in Peru, called Music Suite 408. So I have mainly guitar students and drum students there. I have one trumpet student and one bagpipe player that I've been working with.
Mm-hmm.
That he learned the bagpipes kind of on his own, how to play the notes. But I'm just helping him put some of the puzzle pieces together in terms of learning songs and stuff like that.
Yes. Songs, music and everything's kind of sweet to all of our souls, and, it's part of us, And where did you go to school at?
Well, I went to LP High School and Illinois Valley Community College. And then I took a little time off, like a year. Then I went to Columbia College in Chicago and got a bachelor's degree.
Okay, got a bachelor's
Mm-hmm.
in what?
Well, my main focus officially was music composition, but I would say I was kind of an unofficial performance major there too, because I did a lot of performing in the city and in different ensembles through the school.
Yes.
So yeah.
Actually, that's kind of surprising, Kevin. My daughter did the same thing. She went to IVCC. She graduated from IVCC, and then she went to Columbia.
Thank you, Katie.
In Chicago. Also, and she got a degree there too.
Great.
But she got it in sign language interpreting.
Oh wow.
But she went to Ottawa High School, and right now she lives in St. Louis, and she doesn't do too much. She has a young child right now, and doesn't do too much anything but take care of the child.
That's a lot of work. That's a full-time, more than a full-time job.
Yes,
and as a kid.
Were you in band in high school, or?
Yeah, so thinking back on it, I think when we started the recorder in 4th grade, that was maybe one of the first times I started to notice how music is different than everything else you do in school. Because in subjects like English and math and science, you are in your own desk and get your own grades. And in PE, you have your team and the other team. But in music, everyone's playing the same song.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, we're all going to play Hot Cross Buns. And even though that's a simple song, there's still something different about everyone being focused on the same thing, like actually in real time, right?
But did you have any family, like your mother and father? Did they have any music influences? Basically, kind of influenced your music? No, they didn't.
I chose it on my own.
Yeah.
For better or worse. And they've been supportive, even if they haven't entirely understood why their only kid would want to pursue such a path that has there's absolutely no guarantee of anything beyond like homelessness.
Yes, my father was a teacher also. My father was a principal at the time, and I was considered, well, I was a poor student. I was,
Okay.
I was a poor student. Basically, I was a daydreamer. I didn't concentrate in my studies and everything like that, and everything too. But my father bought me a Martin guitar, a DM Martin, and I think it was 1963 at Wurlitzer World of Music in Joliet, Illinois. And I took it home, and I never took any lessons. I never took any lessons or anything. But it was like, I put it in the closet. When I went to bed, I pulled it out before I fell asleep. Bottom line, Kevin, I was never anything good at it. Never any good at playing it, Still not good at it playing it, you know what I mean? But it's because it's a release.
That's it.
It was a
big part of
release.
it, yeah.
It's something that, and my wife who passed away last year, she said to me, she says, Pete, you're never good enough to play in public, which I knew I wasn't, and still isn't, but yeah, I still do it. I still play at home. I still play to myself, and I just got a dobro.
Right.
Like 2 weeks ago, and everything, I think I play is I play it, I put it on my lap, I play slide,
Absolutely.
because I had cancer and I can't hold a pick too much anymore, all right? So I took my wife's rubber gloves, wash dishes with, and I cut that off, so I could have it, because you know how it blisters up playing finger style.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so then I got a bottle slide.
Perfect.
And I was sitting there, and I went out the other day, and I have young kids next door, little kids, second grade, third grade, or whatever grade. And I just started playing up my driveway. They thought that was the greatest thing, man. They just, and that's, I was just improvising, I haven't practiced enough on making songs. And by the way, Kevin, you practice a lot.
Do I practice a lot?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess every time I pick it up, it's a version of practicing.
Yes.
In terms of practicing things that I really need to improve on, definitely not as much as I would like to.
But how long? Let's put it this way. How long do you practice with every day? If you ever figured out,
Well, I would say I don't want to compare it to what I'm doing now, because my life lately has been a lot different, raising a kid and everything. But when I was, getting used to the instrument, it would be, hours at a time.
Right.
On a regular basis, like
Right.
everyday basis.
That's what a lot of people don't have a hard time with. Hey, how come you can't pick up a guitar and play it normally? Well, you and I know it takes a long time and a lot of practice to be where you want to be yourself. You know what I mean? That's what it really comes. You've probably learned over the years. You practice a lot. where a lot of these songs that you know kind of come naturally to you, you know. But you know, it's you have to keep up that practice to be where you want to be. You know what I'm saying?
Well, a big part of it too is learning how to listen.
Exactly.
And learning how to recognize the invisible patterns of music, right? Because that's, I think, a big factor in understanding music is it's, you know, pattern-based. We have a 12-note musical system that we use, right? And, you know, that song Jackson 5, ABC, easy as 1, 2, 3, do, re, mi.
Yeah.
You know, when you start to get how that kind of fits with so many songs, it becomes less complicated. And you know, for my students, I kind of explain that, you know, it's just building up the muscle memory and getting your hands used to being on the instrument,
Now,
whether it's guitar or drums.
yeah. Do you teach your children the notes, or do you teach them just to be themselves and learn the chords?
Well, no, notes and chords, I mean, that's like individual notes are like melody, right? Chords are harmony,
Right.
and then the beats and the grooves are rhythm.
Right.
So melody, harmony, and rhythm are the three main components to how music works.
Awesome.
So whatever instrument you're on, there's, you know, melodic, harmonic, and rhythmic aspects to pretty much any piece of music. You know, so I try to just, with the students I work with, try to help them understand what those three things are and how they fit in with their instrument or whatever songs they're learning.
Yes. And students, you're probably watching now, and you know, really pick up on what he's saying, because it's really important what you're saying. You know, that's myself. I had a hard time doing that because reading, you know, I had a hard time reading the music. I more or less kind of, and it discouraged me a little bit. So I just went and just started picking up the chords myself. You know, and I'm a closed closet musician, you know. And I really don't want to get out in front of people because, you know, a little stage fright. Am I good enough? You know, or something like that, you know what I mean? But it's to me, the kids next door, they don't care. You know what I mean? And that's really a kind of encouragement for me, you know. It's just because it's, to me, I'm getting out there. I don't read music, but I'm still learning myself. And we learn something every day.
Exactly.
You know, there's something new in our lives, everybody's lives. You learn something every day. If you don't learn anything every day, you became stagnant.
Yeah.
You know, and you start getting depressed. You start getting, everything bothers you, you know. To me, that is, your guitar is your release to me. You know, it's like I said, you know, I used to pull them out, and I still pull them out. You know, I don't have them in the closet no more. I got, you know, I pull it there, and you know, it's just sitting down on the couch or something like that, and just play what you want. You know, hey, I just play what because I'm not really out there satisfying anybody out there. I'm just satisfying myself, and that is a real good release for yourself. You know, because everybody you have to, in life you gotta love yourself first. You know what I mean? And everything else is drawn. You know what I mean? You know, and you know, it's, you know, it's the way life is. You know, and I see you have your guitar here today. Kevin is
Yeah.
Just
Beautiful breedlove here.
what kind is that?
It's a breedlove.
It's a breedlove. Oh
Yeah.
yes. You know, Now this is it acoustic electric or is this?
It is acoustic electric. Yeah.
It is acoustic, but they also have what they call Dronot, the Dronot guitars, which is not electric. It looks just like this, people looks just like that, but it's acoustic. I used to have a Martin, which I got rid of years ago, the DM, and I still kick myself today getting rid of it, And but I have now an Epiphone, and it's not never paid very much for it and everything too, but it's still still part of me, and, playing. So Kevin, just play a little.
You'd like to hear something?
Yeah.
Would you rather have a stool?
That might work better. Yeah. All right. So I'll play a newer song that I think I started writing like last January, and I don't think I've ever really done an acoustic version of it. So I'll see what I can do. But yeah, this was kind of a blues inspired song, so let's see. From a slumber to find out life is but a dream. I was awoken from a slumber to find out life is but a dream. Some people said we all float on okay, oh so gently down the stream. Don't quiet down, I'll turn this river right back around. Well, if you kids don't quiet down, I'll turn this river right back around. It's been time to listen up. Everybody look what's going down. I got those low down, downstream Chicago River blues. I got those low down, downstream Chicago River blues. We went down in the river to pray, said there was nothing left to lose. I got those low down, downstream Chicago River blues. Oh, I got those low down, downstream Chicago River blues. She went down in the river to pray, said there was nothing left to lose.
All right. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you. Did you write that song?
I wrote that song
Yeah.
based on the blues, though. So I mean, it's my interpretation of a tradition that goes back a long ways.
Oh yeah, because actually it was a little over a week ago. I think it was a week ago, Sunday. I was in the National Blues Museum
Wow.
in St. Louis.
Cool.
And I've lived in Marseilles
Mm-hmm.
since I was 5 years old, but both sides of my family were from Southern Illinois. And I had a family member they would play quite a bit, you know. And we used to go over by the Mississippi River.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a boat, and I remember it was called the Avalon. It was an Avalon and everything. They used to bring up some of your black blues players,
Mm-hmm.
you know, Fred McDowell and pieces like people like that. You know, I remember I seen. I actually saw Mississippi John Hurt, you know, and them people there, and you know, that was Delta blues, you know, but you know, the St. Louis, the National Blues Musician blues. There's a lot of Chicago blues in there.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
Muddy Waters,
Mm-hmm.
you know, Howlin' Wolf, and people like that, you know, and it was really good, interesting, you know, it's really interesting, and you know, I tell you the truth, I'm a blues fanatic, you know. I've seen him last month. I saw Buddy Guy, and you know,
Mhm.
I've seen him many a times, you know, but it's that to me, if you're down, I got up this morning and I was driving over here, and I listened to the blues channel.
Mm-hmm.
The blues music just lifts me, you know. I mean, in the morning it's just like, oh gosh, you know, it's blues is just, it's not blues. It's blues, but it lifts you, you know.
Yeah.
And the music always lifts you, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to just have something for your students. Just show them a couple of your chords. Just kind of like you're in a class right now, and just show the student a couple of your chords.
So there's what's called the caged system on the guitar's 5 open chord shapes. So there's C major, and then A, well, you could go A minor, and they're called open chords because they have open strings. G major, and then E major, or minor, and then D major,
Yes.
or D minor. So just learning those 5 open
Now,
chord shapes.
watch Kevin's finger work. These here are called frets. A lot of that is how the strings are going to be pressed under the frets. You get that. That's what you get the real good tones. Now show them that a little bit, Kevin.
Well, so that's, you know, learning those chord shapes. You can play a lot of songs just from those shapes, and you can also move those shapes down the neck too. And then really, a cool thing about the guitar that a lot of people don't get is you can play most of the notes on the whole instrument on the first few frets, because these are all just like repeats. So like this one up here is the same as the open string. So you don't need to go all the way up here when you can just get that same note open. So I show people what I call the guitar alphabet. So just E, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You know, we just have, like I said, a 12-note musical system, 7 letters of the alphabet, and then the 5 in-between notes, the black keys on the piano, the sharpened flats. Right, 7 plus 5 is 12. Right, so when you get the regular alphabet letters, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. As long as you know those, the in-between notes are the sharper flat notes, and then you know what the notes are, which allows communication to happen easier between musicians, right? Because we developed our whole way of talking about music to allow people to learn music easier, and so musicians can communicate between each other easier, because really it's just about the sounds
Yes.
at the end of the day. But in order for musicians to communicate about the sounds and teach more people about the sounds, we need to call it something, right?
Yeah, you know, it's basically other people, like in the bands, you gotta get the rhythm together, you know, more or less, you know. And that's the thing about playing with other people. You have to get in sync with all the rhythms and everything too. Is that correct?
That's why listening is the most important thing.
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And the chords you just showed, play a song just using them, what you just showed. Can you?
Well, a good one for those caged chords is the song "Hey Joe," which
Oh yeah.
actually wasn't by Jimi Hendrix,
No, it
but
wasn't.
he did the kind of one of the quintessential versions of it.
Yes.
So it's like C, G, D, A, B. So yeah, the left hand is changing chords, but the right hand is really driving the rhythm, right? So everything has to work together to make something that sounds like music.
Yeah. So, you know, this, I know that song. Can you play Hey Joe all the way through?
That's the whole song.
Yeah. Can you?
Oh, like you want me to sing it too?
Yeah.
I don't necessarily have that one in my repertoire.
Well, play in your repertoire. I know. Hey, folks, he hasn't practiced enough on that one.
Yeah, I mean, vocally, you know, my range is a little bit more limited than maybe some other singers. So
Yeah.
I have to.
Aren't we all?
The guitar. Well, the guitar as an instrument, you know, it's polyphonic, meaning it can play multiple notes at the same time. So it kind of the guitar and the piano are some of the only instruments in that category. So with that harmonic and rhythmic aspect, it's supporting the melody, which is the voice, right? So I don't want to throw my melody under the bus to try to, you know, make
No, I'm
make
not
a
here
point,
to throw you underneath the bus, Kevin.
to try to make a point about the you know, the chords. But yeah, Hey Joe's a good one to get those open chord shapes down.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, play something you're used to.
Sure.
Okay.
How about another original song?
Another original song?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Cool. All I've got to give you is music. All I wanna be is myself. You make me wanna make a lot of money. In harmony, not hatefully in hell. Oh, you said that we're in heaven if we make it. Imaginary fashioned in our minds. You watch them on the TV, see them fake it. You watch them on the TV all the time. The TV in your mind. You watch it all the time. The TV in your mind until you fall asleep.
All right.
All I've got to give you is nothing. All you need to be is yourself. You make me want to tell you something funny, 'cause you're laughing laughter rings me like a bell.
Great, that's great. You know,
Thank you.
There are some. Did you write that song?
Yes.
You know, you wrote that. That's really good. That's really
Thank
good.
you so much.
And it's from the Illinois Valley, folks.
Made in the USA.
Made in the USA and Illinois too. You know, and down the Illinois River also. Water from Chicago, Illinois, all the way down to the Illinois River. But what are some of your? Can you play another song? Your song?
Sure.
Do you have I'm a Beatle nut.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know any Beatles songs?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
No, yeah. Everybody knows Beatles.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and
Who are some of your influences?
yeah, who was some of your?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say early on, probably, you know, when I was first getting started on guitar, there was Nirvana, the band, and then like Metallica, Green Day, bands like that. And then as I grew, I just started discovering more and more music. And lo and behold, I mean, it's a pretty amazing time in terms of there's just so many amazing musicians out there. And, you know, that we have the technology to where we are more aware of it all than ever. And I mean, the capability of recording, it's something we take almost for granted now, but it's allowed us to, you know, listen to music from a century ago. So there's this guitarist called Django Reinhardt, and he's a jazz guitarist. He's definitely one of my favorite guitar players. But then again, it's you know, there's great songwriters and everything too.
Yeah.
So I would say, just like good music at this point, just good music is an influence on me. Anything that I hear.
Yeah, but you know, you say that was your influence. Your jazz artist. Does he influence you to play, or what was? Did you have an influence over your songwriting?
Well, songwriting, it's interesting. You know, you just kind of get different ideas at different times.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can come from a word or phrase or lyric. Sometimes it can come from something you play on the guitar or another instrument.
Mm-hmm.
Or sometimes you just start like humming a melody, you know, when you're...
Because, you know, I know a lot of music is basically poetry. You know, poetry stuff and everything too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I interviewed a poet, Ernie, here, and you know, and he wrote songs also too. You know, he wrote songs, and you know, it's a combination of poetry, music, and just words from everyday life. You know? And we need more of it, tell you the truth. You know, I mean, because you know, I was in the era, and I served my country. You know, I never went to Vietnam. I went to Germany, but we were in a turmoil back then in this country. You know, the war and everything too, and a lot of this was the music, our music. You know, and everything. It was like our release. You know, and to me, I think a lot of a lot of music, English music, you know, the Beatles and you know, Crosby, Stills and Nash and all these great, you know, folk singers, rock singers, whatever you want to call them. They all had a message, you know, of we have to get back to the way our life was without worrying about war. You know, and to me, you look at history. It was music and an ink pen that more or less helped end all the wars. You know, and we're really in a turmoil all over the world right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, I hope and I pray to God that some music comes and takes somebody and just, okay, let's just listen to the music and not worry about all our problems, you know, and it's there.
Yeah, I think that's.
And it doesn't cost us
yeah.
a dime.
Mm-hmm.
Listening, you know, to ease us and get it, whatever bothering you, whatever it is, and everything, it's a release, you know, listening to music and this, everything will flow smoothly,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and thank you very much today, Kevin,
Hey, thank
and
you.
it's been a real pleasure and everything too, and keep up the good music there.
I'll do my best.
All right, thank you, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and